Long, long ago, in the heart of the Igbo land, there was a village called Amaigbo. This village was beautiful, filled with kind people, and surrounded by tall palm trees and rivers that sparkled in the sun. But in this peaceful village, there was one man everyone feared, Nduka. Nduka was no ordinary man. He was as tall as the tallest Iroko tree, and as strong as 10 men combined. His footsteps shook the ground, and his voice could be heard from one end of the village to the other. But that wasn't what made people afraid of him. It was his hunger. Yes, Nduka had an appetite so big that no one could believe it. In Amaigbo, people whispered about Ndukas' hunger. They said he could eat an entire family's food in one sitting. It was even said that during the last New Yam festival, Nduka accidentally ate all the yams meant for the village chief, Eze Ugu. So, people avoided Nduka. Mothers would call their children indoors when he passed by, and men would hurry to finish their work when they saw him coming. They were afraid he would eat all their food, take their crops, or devour their livestock. They didn't hate Nduka, but they kept their distance. He was just too different, too big and too hungry. One year, during the dry season, something terrible happened. The rain refused to fall, and the rivers dried up, and the crops in Amaigbo started to wither. The people of the village were in trouble. There was no food, and everyone was starving. The villagers whispered again, this time in fear that the drought was Nduka's fault. Maybe it's his hunger that has caused us, they said. Maybe the gods are angry because he eats too much. Poor Nduka. He heard their whispers, saw the fear in their eyes, and he was sad. He didn't want to be a burden to the people. So one night, when the moon was high in the sky, Nduka decided to leave the village. He thought, if I go, maybe the rain will return and the people will have food again. So, with nothing but his walking stick and a small gourd of water, Nduka left Amaigbo. He walked and walked for many days through forests and across dry lands. But even as he journeyed, he kept thinking about his village. What will happen to my people? Are they surviving without me? One day, after many weeks of wandering, Nduka came to a very steep hill. On the other side of the hill, he saw something extraordinary, a valley. But not just any valley. This valley was green and lush, with tall trees full of fruits and streams flowing with fresh water. It was a place of abundance, hidden away from the rest of the world. Nduka couldn't believe his eyes. For the first time in months, Nduka ate his fill of fruit and drank as much water as he could. But even though he was full and happy, he couldn't stop thinking about his village. Have found food and water, but my people are still suffering. He thought, I must go back and help them. So, with newfound strength, Nduka climbed back over the hill and made his way home. When he returned to Amaigbo, the villagers were shocked. They couldn't believe what they were saying. Nduka was thin, yet still strong. He hadn't changed. Some villagers thought he had returned because he couldn't find food. But Nduka smiled and shook his head. I have found something better than food, he said. I have found a valley full of fruits and fresh water, a place that can save us all. At first, the people didn't believe him. How could Nduka, the man they feared, be the one to bring them hope? But when he told Eze Ugo, the village chief, about the valley, the chief decided to send the strongest men in the village to follow Nduka and see if what he said was true. So, Nduka led a group of men to the hidden valley. They climbed the steep hill, and when they reached the top, their eyes widened in amazement. Everything Nduka had said was true. The valley was filled with fruits and fresh water, more than enough to save the village from the droughts. The men gathered as much food and water as they could carry and returned to Amaigbo with Nduka. When the people saw the abundance of food, they cheered. Nduka had saved them. From that day forward, the people of Amaigbo no longer feared Nduka. He was no longer the man with insatiable hunger. They now called him Nduka the hero, the man who saved their village when they needed him the most. And the valley he discovered, it became a place the village could always rely on, even in the toughest time. As time went on, Nduka continued to lead groups of villagers to the valley during dry seasons, ensuring that Amaigbo never suffered from hunger or thirst again. His strength, once feared, became the symbol of hope and resilience for the people. He taught them how to care for the valley, gathering only what they needed, so it remained a blessing for generations to come. Nduka had proven that being different wasn't a curse, but a gift. Because of his determination and kindness, the people of Amaigbo learned to look beyond appearance and understand that everyone, no matter how different, has something valuable to offer. As the year went by, Nduka's legacy in Amaigbo grew stronger. The villagers never forget the lesson he taught them. Sometimes, the person we misunderstood or fear has the potential to change our lives for the better. Through his courage and kindness, Nduka had shown them the power of looking beyond appearance and using our strength to help those around us. So, what do you think? Have you ever known someone who was misunderstood but turned out to be a true hero? Or maybe there is a strength in you that others don't see. Remember, each of us has the power to make a difference, just like Nduka. And who knows, you might be the hero someone needs today. If you enjoy Nduka's story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring tales. Let's keep spreading positivity and celebrate those who make a difference, no matter how big or small. Until next time, bye-bye.